They said it would never land on a Nintendo platform again, that the once proud tradition of body-slamming spectacle on a handheld system was as good as gone. Yet, here we are, watching the wrestling world gasp at the seemingly impossible arrival of WWE 2K25 on Nintendo Switch 2. That is right, the gates have swung wide open for one of the biggest, boldest, and most sensational wrestling launches in recent memory, all set to drop on the brand new Nintendo system this very month. The rumors and side-eyes have finally given way to a triumphant truth, and fans across the globe are bracing themselves to see if lightning can, indeed, strike twice, or maybe even 3 times. So, what exactly is happening here, and why is the entire wrestling community, and many curious newcomers, buzzing with excitement? Today we are diving deep into the swirling storm of updates surrounding WWE 2K25 on Nintendo Switch 2, shining a spotlight on the controversies, the hopes, and the downright shocking reveals that lie at the heart of this historic release. In the next several minutes, prepare to explore the must-know details about the game's arrival, the cutting-edge console it is set to call home, and the star-studded array of special content that has fans in a full-throttle frenzy of speculation. We will examine the complicated love-hate relationship between wrestling aficionados and the publisher, the next-level improvements promised for Nintendo Switch 2, and even the little-known frustrations that have sprouted in the game's official online community regarding certain missing celebrity guests. Hang on tight, because we are about to crack open the ringside drama like never before. Yes, you heard that correctly. The beloved tradition of annual wrestling releases on Nintendo hardware has been sporadic at best in recent years, but 2K is looking to change that storyline for good. This time around, WWE 2K25 is not being relegated to some half-baked port. Instead, it is standing tall as a marquee release for a console that many critics believe might shift the entire gaming landscape. Tucked away behind the blurred lines of rumor and official confirmation, it has been officially unveiled that the game will appear on July 23rd, complete with standard, deluxe, and ultra-premium editions catered to every shade of wrestling fandom. There are fans out there who had resigned themselves to skipping out on new wrestling releases altogether, but that abrupt shift in momentum is injecting a surge of excitement, reminiscent of the shocking returns we occasionally see in the actual WWE storyline arcs. Before we charge ahead with everything that is new and mind-blowing, let us rewind the clock to WWE 2018 on the previous Nintendo platform. That game, as fans still bemoan, arrived in a less than stellar condition. But now, we stand on the threshold of a fresh era, one where Nintendo Switch 2's improved hardware and beefier performance capabilities promise to wipe away the lingering frustrations from older ports. The stage is set for a redemption arc that might surpass all expectations, featuring fluid in-ring animations, robust online connectivity, and visuals that some believe could go toe-to-toe with established wrestling titles on competing consoles. At the same time, the hype is too big to ignore. Can WWE 2025 truly harness the full might of Nintendo Switch 2, or will it stumble under the weight of lofty promises? As we piece together the puzzle in search of clarity, keep in mind that July 23rd looks to be no ordinary date on the WWE calendar. Not only is it unveiling the official global release of WWE 2025 for Nintendo Switch 2, but the day is also marked by the arrival of the highly anticipated Fearless Pack. Rumors about this downloadable content began swirling months ago, with fans speculating about which new wrestlers, legends, or celebrity guests might show up. At last, the curtain has been drawn back to reveal an eclectic lineup: the notorious hardcore icon New Jack, the formidable Jordynne Grace, the high-flying phenomenon known simply as Penta, the legendary Bull Nakano, and a special celebrity cameo in the form of none other than KSI. That final name, KSI, has ignited social media chatter with the force of a catapult. This is not the first time a non-wrestling celebrity has stepped into a WWE ring, even if only digitally. Yet combining KSI's massive online following with the fervor of wrestling fans has the potential to send waves through the entire entertainment sphere. People who might have previously shrugged off the idea of checking out a sports-themed fighting game on a Nintendo console are now perked up, enthralled by the possibility of pitting KSI against the unstoppable might of wrestlers like Roman Reigns or Becky Lynch. This synergy underscores exactly how serious 2K is about making WWE 2025 a blockbuster event on Nintendo Switch 2, one that merges mainstream pop culture with the age-old adrenaline of the squared circle. Now, in the thick of all these announcements, it is easy to gloss over a piece of lingering tension that has bubbled under the surface for months. Fans have not forgotten that the publisher previously promised a celebrity guest appearance, alongside an earlier downloadable content wave, the so-called New Wave Pack. Yet that cameo remains suspiciously absent. Every time the official WWE Games X/Twitter account posts an update, dozens of exasperated fans respond, demanding to know when or if that long-delayed celebrity figure will materialize. Some have deemed this a minor oversight, while others have interpreted it as a sign of disorganization behind the scenes. Whatever the truth may be, the tension remains, fueling debates and stoking speculation about whether the next big reveal will surprise everyone or simply disappoint yet again. Despite the uncertainty, the July 23rd release stands firm as a beacon of hope for restless Nintendo faithful who have been longing to get their hands on a top-tier wrestling simulator. Unlike the earlier Nintendo console, which sometimes struggled to maintain frame rates or handle the complexities of advanced lighting and animation, Nintendo Switch 2 is purportedly a different beast altogether, one with processing power and memory capabilities that easily dwarf its predecessor. This jump in hardware performance has already been showcased by other developers, such as CD Projekt Red's recent demonstration of Cyberpunk 2077 on Nintendo Switch 2 hardware. If massive open-world games with advanced visual features can run smoothly, then a sports entertainment title with robust character creation, sprawling online modes, and realistic ring physics might shine just as brightly. The question is, will this leap in power and fidelity be enough to entice fans who have grown accustomed to playing wrestling games on major home consoles or powerful PCs? The good news is that Nintendo, as well as numerous third-party studios, is heavily banking on the console's improved specs to lure in a broader audience. For instance, Electronic Arts has confirmed that Madden NFL 26 is headed to Nintendo Switch 2, a major statement of confidence in the system's capabilities. Meanwhile, beloved Nintendo franchises like Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza are rumored to drop in the not-so-distant future, each promising to be a must-play exclusive that will highlight the console's unique merits. So, for a wrestling fan, the presence of WWE 2025 among this lineup of heavy hitters could be the sign that Nintendo Switch 2 is not just a second-tier console relegated to party games and family-friendly fare, but a genuine competitor for the gaming dollars of a wide range of enthusiasts. If you are just as stunned by these developments as I am, go ahead and show some support with a quick thumbs up right now. It is always fascinating to see how these massive crossovers of sports, video games, and internet celebrities can set the entertainment world ablaze. And it is even more exciting when a platform that had been dismissed by skeptics comes roaring back into the conversation. The complexities do not stop there. Hardcore fans of wrestling gaming have a habit of scrutinizing every detail, from the fluidity of a powerbomb animation to the authenticity of each wrestler's entrance music and moveset. This time, they are zeroing in on the Nintendo Switch 2 version with particular fervor. For instance, how will the online infrastructure hold up under the weight of furious, real-time matches featuring customized wrestlers from around the globe? Will the game's robust character creation suite, often known for straining less powerful hardware, remain intact and free from catastrophic slowdown or crashes? Is handheld play going to be a seamless experience, or will certain features be locked out unless you dock the system? These are all legitimate concerns, yet 2K's confident marketing materials insist that the development teams have learned from past missteps. They vow that the experience on Nintendo Switch 2 will stand tall next to versions on other platforms. By all accounts, the visual detail has been stepped up a notch, making each grappler's muscles, facial expressions, and ring gear pop with authenticity. Additionally, the developer has teased an extensive overhaul to the online lobbies, designed to reduce lag and create a more welcoming environment for new challengers. Indeed, bridging the gap between newbies and veterans seems to be a key priority, as the game's tutorial mode might be friendlier than ever, complete with step-by-step guidance on combos, reversals, submissions, and those dramatic finishing maneuvers that define a highlight reel. Then, of course, there are the special editions. A quick glance at the eShop or Nintendo's official site confirms three variants. The Standard Edition, priced at $69.99, the Deadman Edition at $99.99, and the Bloodline Edition at $129.99. The naming alone has piqued curiosity, with the Deadman Edition evoking Undertaker-inspired imagery and the Bloodline Edition no doubt referencing the unstoppable faction that has dominated WWE storylines in recent memory. Fans are already in heated debates about which edition offers the best value. Do you go for the standard version if you are on a tight budget, or do you splurge on the Bloodline Edition for the sake of snagging all the included downloadable content from day one? The Fearless Pack, launching simultaneously with the game, will be available to anyone, whether they opt for the standard or deluxe editions. But of course, players who pick one of the premium editions will preemptively have that content built into their digital library. In addition to the brand new wave of superstars, the Fearless Pack might feature unique alternate attires or themed arenas, though that remains rumor and speculation at this stage. Additionally, the previously released New Wave Pack and Dunk and Destruction Pack are expected to be up for grabs, each containing its own set of wrestlers, legends, and bizarre match stipulations. While some players will inevitably pick and choose which expansions suit their tastes, completists might spring for a top-tier bundle and avoid the hassle of incremental purchases. The inclusion of advanced hardware features in Nintendo Switch 2 has also opened new doors for creative match types and dynamic environmental interactions. Imagine using motion controls for certain mini-games or leveraging the system's rumored improved haptic feedback to simulate the tension of a last-man-standing count or a submission hold. However, neither 2K nor Nintendo has gone into extreme detail here, so it will be up to the fans to discover if these enhancements have truly been integrated or if they have been left behind in the rush to meet the July release window. Either way, the hype is real, and that might be half the battle. For many, the deciding factor about whether to purchase WWE 2K25 on Nintendo Switch 2 has nothing to do with rosters or special editions. It is all about trust. The previous fiasco with earlier wrestling titles on Nintendo platforms left a sour taste. This time, though, the marketing machine has made it clear that they do not want to leave Nintendo loyalists out in the cold. The promise is that, from day one, the game will be wholly optimized to harness the new console's advanced capabilities. That means robust performance with minimal frame drops, quick loading times, and the same level of polish that fans on other platforms have come to expect. We have to talk about the synergy of pro wrestling and portability. Historically, handheld versions of wrestling games made certain sacrifices: fewer match types, smaller rosters, or downgraded graphics. With the Nintendo Switch 2's rumored hardware leap, there is a growing sense that the new machine can run a near-identical version to what you would find on a high-powered home console, only now you can pick it up and play anywhere. That opens up entire new worlds of possibility for fans who want to hone their skills on the go or jump into a quick online match while traveling. If this dream of a seamless console-quality experience in a handheld form becomes reality, it could shape not just wrestling titles, but the entire approach developers take when bringing big-budget AAA series to the system. But let us not forget the broader gaming environment in which WWE 2K25 is launching. Competition for the attention of gamers is higher than ever, with blockbuster titles dropping almost every month. Putting aside sports franchises like Madden NFL 26, Nintendo Switch 2's library might soon include everything from epic RPGs to first-person shooters that have historically been absent or scaled down on Nintendo devices. The presence of more powerful hardware suggests that this time, the system might actually go toe-to-toe with the likes of PlayStation or Xbox, at least in terms of major third-party offerings. If that is the case, a wrestling title with a robust roster, extensive downloadable content, and addictive online matchmaking might just capture an audience that used to look elsewhere for their grappling fix. That said, skepticism dies hard. A share of fans remain unconvinced that the shift to Nintendo Switch 2 will be as smooth as the promotional materials suggest. They are pointing at the earlier fiasco with the missing celebrity cameo from the New Wave Pack as evidence that 2K's right hand may not always know what its left hand is doing. Others worry that, despite the hardware improvements, there might be undisclosed limitations that hamper large-scale events or multi-person matches. For instance, One rumored stumbling block is the number of wrestlers that can fill the ring for an epic Royal Rumble scenario. While more powerful platforms can handle up to 8 or more superstars in motion simultaneously, what if Nintendo Switch 2's version caps out at 6 due to some undisclosed performance trade-off? Rumors like these feed into the swirling vortex of speculation, leaving many eager to get hands-on time with the final product. In the midst of all these storylines, some reflecting pure hype, others highlighting real frustration, there is a genuine undercurrent of momentum. People are excited not only because a wrestling title is returning to Nintendo, but also because it is returning at a time when the entire console ecosystem is making a giant evolutionary step. Scenes from stylized demonstrations show wrestlers charging down the ramp with crisp, bold visuals, the roars of the crowd rendered in immersive detail, and the commentary team reacting in near real time. Even glimpses of the rumored synergy with advanced Joy-Con rumble tech have started seeping onto fan forums, though few can confirm what is actually in store. All of this builds on the notion that this is going to be the year wrestling fans look back on and say, that is when everything changed. Once we get past the initial burst of gameplay, roster reveals, and the excitement of customizing dream matches or crossovers with KSI, there remains the finishing move of them all, longevity. A successful wrestling game must keep players engaged long after the opening bell. That is part of why these downloadable content packs and expansions carry so much weight. Expanding the roster with legends, fan favorites, or even more celebrities keeps the experience fresh, while new match rules or story content can drastically extend the replay value. If WWE 2K25 can deliver a steady stream of updates that hit both mainstream curiosity, like a cameo from a major pop star, and hardcore wrestling cravings, like classic WC or CDU icons, it might sustain momentum for months or even years, the way certain fighting games have built dedicated communities through ongoing support. And if you are finding yourself gripping the edge of your seat, eager to see how all these puzzle pieces snap together, consider this your friendly cue to subscribe so you never miss another juicy reveal. These are the kinds of stories that evolve by the day, and you will want to stay in the loop as more hidden details come roaring into view. So, what could go wrong in this grand unveiling? One red flag that some fans cannot shake is that 2K remains tight-lipped about exactly when that previously promised celebrity from the new Wave Pack will appear. If this second cameo fails to materialize altogether, it could cast a shadow over the holiday season and disrupt the synergy the publisher is trying to build. Yet others argue that the presence of KSI in the Fearless Pack should be enough to dampen most of the frustration, at least temporarily. After all, the publisher's approach to bridging reality and kayfabe is becoming more creative by the day, and KSI's involvement is a prime example of that. For those who thrive on the technical side of sports simulation, there is a host of potential improvements to investigate, starting with the rumored tweaks to physics and damage modeling. Imagine a scenario where ring mat collisions, rope rebounds, and high-risk leaps off the turnbuckle are meticulously simulated, lending an authenticity that wrestling game fans have clamored for since the old arcade days. Sources close to the development claim that these improvements are especially noticeable on Nintendo Switch 2, thanks to the console's enhanced processor. This might also tie into improved load times for big match types, enabling players to hop from a standard tag team match to an Extreme Rules cage match in the blink of an eye. If any or all of these improvements become reality, it would represent a milestone for portable gaming, especially for those who have endured subpar experiences in years past. Of course, none of this addresses the fact that pro wrestling itself has changed drastically over the last decade, with a constant rotation of new superstars, cross-promotion with other wrestling organizations, and collaborations with online influencers. It seems that WWE 2K25, in some ways, aims to capture this new era, bridging the gap between old-school fans and the digital-first generation. The question is, will it succeed to the point of overshadowing prior wrestling game dynasties on the old systems? Still, let us not overlook the significance of stepping into the future with Nintendo Switch 2. If this system deftly handles a robust wrestling game, it opens the door to all sorts of advanced sports titles. If wrestling can flourish, so can more advanced versions of baseball, basketball, and even soccer on Nintendo hardware. Fans might be in for a renaissance of sorts, where the lines between portable and home console truly blur, and the entire gaming ecosystem is better for it. This is precisely why industry insiders are watching WWE 2K25's performance so intently. If it sells well and garners a positive reception, it could pave the way for a slew of once impossible ports and brand new exclusive experiences. Another wild card in the deck is the synergy between WWE's storytelling prowess and Nintendo's more family-friendly brand. Historically, Nintendo has been the go-to platform for charismatic, cartoonish fun. Wrestling, on the other hand, can sometimes tip into edgy, violent, or intense territory if the storyline calls for it. Will the game maintain the same rating across platforms, or might there be some specific toned-down content for the sake of the Nintendo audience? The recent spate of reveals indicates that 2K is not toning anything down, especially given the inclusion of hardcore icons like New Jack. That might catch some by surprise, though it hardly seems to be a point of complaint amongst the fanbase, who mostly want a comprehensive wrestling simulation that honors the sport's intensity. Whatever minor controversies swirl up in the lead-up to launch day, one thing is undeniable. An aura of genuine electricity surrounds WWE 2K25 on Nintendo Switch 2. It beckons fans old and new to pick up the console, choose their favorite superstar, and step into battles that could reshape the legacy of wrestling titles on handheld devices. It all goes down on July 23rd, the day that might just plant a thunderous exclamation mark onto years of speculation. Will KSI's big cameo steal the show? Will the hardware truly push the game's performance into uncharted heights? Will fans finally see that long-awaited missing celebrity from earlier downloadable content, or will that remain an open-ended question that gnaws at the edges of the fanbase's collective patience? On the surface, these may sound like the usual pre-launch jitters, but there is a deeper story here. A second chance for wrestling experiences to shine on a Nintendo console. For so long, Nintendo fans felt left out whenever the year's newest WWE title made headlines on other systems. Now, they are front and center, poised to soak up everything from official expansions to potential big surprises somewhere down the line. If 2K has indeed learned from missteps, we might just see the wrestling game that Nintendo devotees have dreamed of for years. And if that future is as promising as glimpses suggest, it will not only reaffirm Nintendo Switch 2 as a serious contender in the console wars, but also shape the direction of sports-focused gaming on the entire platform. From the heartbreak of stuttery ports to the thrill of high-fidelity entrances, from missing celebrity guests to the promise of a star-studded fearless pack, from hardware leaps to the grit and glamour of wrestling's biggest stages, this saga is layered with enough drama to rival WWE's own storylines, and that is precisely why it is so captivating. Stay tuned, because July 23rd will arrive sooner than you think, and with it, the chance to step inside the ring. The countdown is on, and fans everywhere are holding their breath to see if WWE 2K25 will finally deliver that knockout shot that the Switch community has been craving. The noise, excitement, and swirling speculation around this release prove that wrestling games can be just as eventful as the real-life mania they represent. With so many story threads developing in real time, with hardware leaps and rosters that push boundaries, we are witnessing a turning point in the intersection of wrestling, gaming, and Nintendo's evolution into a modern powerhouse. And if you cannot wait to see who storms the ring next, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button and stay locked in for more updates. Whether you are a die-hard Wii devotee, a casual gaming fan, or someone just curious about the glitz and chaos of the squared circle, this is one showdown you will not want to miss. July 23rd is set to echo around the world of gaming fandom, and the question remains, will you be ready to rumble when the bell rings?